Hey, it's Wednesday.
Good morning.
Hey, what's going on?
Well,
You have a coffee, I don't. I'm not sure how that happened.
sorry. Well, I actually had to get it at McDonald's and Walmart because it was the only thing open this morning. Because here in Canada, you drive your son to Shinny at 6:30 in the morning. So,
Yes, mine drove himself, so that was great. I heard him leave.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So we just got back, warmed up my McDonald's coffee, which is good. It's not bad, right? McDonald's is good.
You know what? I know a lot of people who will drive by. I mean, this is a very anti-Canadian thing to say, but I know people who will drive by Tim Hortons specifically to go to McDonald's because they like it.
I hate Tim Hortons coffee. It's so bad.
We're very anti-Canadian right now.
Everyone from Tim Hortons who's listening, you guys screwed up when you changed your coffee, and then you tried this dark roast, which was just crap too. And I don't know what it tastes like now because you lost me, so I'm afraid to go back. I don't know if they changed.
I don't think
they
care. No offense.
I know.
But yes, I get it. So I'll be having another coffee later. But that's okay.
But I don't have a foamy thing for you.
That's okay.
That's anyway,
okay.
Good morning. I'm okay today.
We're up early, but you know what I noticed? So driving over here, there's a lot more traffic on the road.
So much.
I was really surprised because, like, for the past almost 2 years, year and a half, however long we've been going through COVID, if I drove over here, it would take me maybe 10 minutes. So that's what I kind of banked on, running a little bit later this morning than I normally am. I left at 20 to 9. And I got here with 5 minutes to spare. Yeah. And then I had to set up my computer and everything. So literally I get in and I'm like, okay, 30 seconds. We're good to go.
Because I have nothing here. I have no mic, no webcam.
But she has a light.
I have a very empty office. I know you guys usually used to seeing stuff. I have nothing here. So
that's okay. It's very pretty though.
It's nice. It's clean.
It is.
It feels like I'm in a hotel.
I know, right? You can't touch anything.
No.
So I want to talk about stories.
Okay.
There's a story of a lovely lady
who was bringing up 3 very lovely girls.
Wait, enough for the Brady Bunch.
And all of them had hair gold, like their mother. Yes, I love the Brady Bunch.
It was awesome. So I don't know if you've noticed, but LinkedIn has taken off their stories.
Yes, I noticed because I went to post and it wasn't there.
So we've been talking about it for a while they've been talking about getting rid of stories, and they were talking about why they were getting rid of stories.
Because it was dumb.
Because it was, it was very interesting. I got excited for all of about 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Because Australia got it first. And I know I've told
you were so mad.
I was mad. And then, because I was really excited. And then we had a mutual colleague who knew someone in Australia who she was able to get onto Zoom. And she showed me the stories. And I was like,
yeah,
I was very sad. But anyway, they tried. So I'll give them A for effort. They tried, it didn't work. And then Twitter also got rid of their stories.
Right.
So I went on all the apps today. This is what I did this morning. I don't know why, but because I saw this article, this is why I wanted to talk about this. So Twitter also got rid of their stories. And what they did is they incorporated stories in audio rooms.
Right.
And they got rid of both of them.
Right.
So I'm fascinated by the fact that these big social media giants and big social media platforms trying different things. So I give them, again, A for effort. But what I realize is that they stayed true to who they were and they got rid of stories.
Which is what you should do.
Now, Instagram, here's what the article I was reading this morning. Instagram is keeping stories.
Right.
Keeping them. Because you know what? It works for Instagram.
That's all I would look at.
Absolutely.
I don't even look at posts. I look at stories.
Right. So this is going to be an interesting conversation then. Okay. So they're keeping stories because I think it works for their platform. I mean, stories first started with Snapchat. It kept going. Instagram adopted it and it works for the platform. I love stories. I'm in exactly the same boat. I probably look more at stories than I do at posts. I don't really go through my feed very often. I mainly look at stories.
Yeah.
So what I was reading this morning was that Instagram is talking about getting rid of the share to story button.
Oh,
interesting. Because the problem that's happening is that everybody is just sharing their posts to their story.
Right.
And they're not and using stories for what stories are for.
We do because we feel like we're obligated to. right?
Like, it's funny, right?
Like, it's not that we're like, oh, I can't wait to share this. It's like, oh, I guess I have to do this. And that's why we do it.
Right. Because it's so that just goes back to just because you can do it. And I was actually funny because I was talking about this in another conversation. I was talking about this yesterday at our networking event. Just because you can do something,
Right.
should you?
Right.
So we do it. I'm at fault of it as well. We do it. It's there. It's shared a story. We feel like the post, then you can read it because you can't put a lot of text.
No.
So sometimes I think it's worthwhile to do
It
shared a
is.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Because the text is part of the post, not because you can't put all that in a story.
Right.
But what Instagram was realizing is that everybody's doing that.
Well, everyone's sharing everything, and that's, we don't share everything, but we usually just share a post, like Stacy said, so that you could actually read what we're writing about.
Yep, exactly. So again, what they're realizing is too many people are doing that. So they were saying that they're going to get rid of because I know my son, for example, what he does is he takes a lot of other people, he goes through his feed and then he shares a lot of posts to his story. So his stories.
So, mine too. I noticed that they share posts.
They share post to story. But what I like, so this is where I don't know if they should take this away. So this is what I want to ask you. So for example, if I were to share a post to a story, I would also add my 2 cents worth.
Right.
I really like this. I thought this was really funny. I really like what they said here. Oh, I can't believe they said that. What were they thinking? Whatever comment that you have, it gives you that ability when you go share the story. And then it only lives for 24 hours and you're good to go.
Unless you put it in your highlights.
Right. Unless you put it in your highlights, in which case it'll stay forever. So anyway, I guess what they were going with was that people aren't using stories properly. They're just filling the story feed with post feeds. So they want to go back to stories. So then what they're going to do, which I thought was really interesting, is on the story, when you add stickers, they have a reshare sticker.
Right.
I'm not really sure how that's going to work.
To reshare your story to someone else's story.
Or the post or an image that you have. I'm not 100% sure how that one's going to work. I'm waiting to see. I don't have it yet. But I was just reading this article this morning and I thought that was really interesting. So my question is, you're a story person. You like going through stories. So when people do share their post to story, you can click on the image and it'll take you to the post. Do you do that?
I do. Sometimes I do. I mean, I do find a lot of kind of interesting things, and I would never have seen them if they had just put them in the post. I would only have seen if they were in the story. And I think another thing to think about with this for Instagram is, the young kids don't love Instagram, right? And so the fact that they share posts is the only thing they do on Instagram, and they have chats. That's the only thing they ever do. So if you take that away, they're going to go, right? They're gone. True. So if you want to get rid of all the young kids, then, you better be careful, because you will if you do that. Because that's they only have 5 pictures on their
profile. Well, they don't have a feed.
No, they don't have nothing.
Like you go to their profile and they have 2 photos.
Right.
Because all they do is either share, but they also put stuff on their own story. They
do, but they share posts to their stories. So if you take that away, they're going to be like, well, what's the point? And I think there's a really interesting piece to think about. LinkedIn is like LinkedIn. That's never going away. Yeah. It's all us old folks that work for a living. None of the young kids are going on it. It's not even anyone in their 20s.
That's why they got rid of the stories.
And so LinkedIn is safe. They're going to do what they always do. Nobody's going to abandon it. But, what's interesting is I was watching a show I meant to tell you about. It's called On the Verge on Netflix. And it's the girl who did, Before Sunrise, Before Midnight, Julie Delpy, anyways, with Ethan Hawke. You didn't see any of those?
No.
Anyways, she's great. She writes, directs, everything. Anyways, but it was interesting. She plays a chef, and then they're saying to her that, you really need to get social media feeds. She goes, well, I'm on Facebook, and dead silence, right? Because it's true. Facebook is, sorry, Facebook, but Facebook's kind of dead.
It's
right. And nobody wants to look at it. And, it's funny because today is my kid's birthday. And as we were driving back from Shinny, he was saying, I got to reply to all these people who said happy birthday. I go, oh, so on, he goes, Snapchat and I'm like, yeah, because he'd never check his Facebook.
My kid doesn't even have Facebook.
No, mine only had it because I gave it to him when he was born.
Oh, you were one of those people.
and but it's funny. It's not even, it's not just, do you believe in stories, do you believe in posts? It's like, how is that going to impact the generation that's coming up if you want them?
Well, why wouldn't you want them? Because we are going to retire at some point in our lives.
Yeah.
I hope. We are going to retire.
Mine is freedom death. It's freedom 55.
No.
Nah.
So we're hoping to retire at some point in our lives. And these are the guys, like this is the generation that's going to be coming up, and they're going to be the main users of social media.
Yeah.
And social media changes absolutely all the time. I mean, I'm always saying to Faye, I'm like, oh, something else changed with this platform. Got to go back into the Gia platform and update this particular pillar or module or whatever. And that's okay. I love it. I love the changes. But this was a really interesting one because it never had it before.
Right.
It never had it before. You could never share. You had to use an external app, and there was no way to share the story. I was one of the last people that actually got that particular feature, and I was really excited. And I like that feature. I like that I can take. So I was just fascinated by this morning. I was fascinated by the fact that they were talking about getting rid of that. And then I was also thinking, well, what about Twitter and LinkedIn? What are they doing? And I realized that now they've gotten rid of their stories. I haven't looked in a while. So I've been on my laptop. I haven't been on my phone on those platforms. And yeah, I'm so interested in how they're using it and why they're doing all of this stuff and how stories have changed over the years.
And I think, well, here's an interesting piece too. Like, I didn't know that TikTok has a desktop.
TikTok has a desktop? See? TikTok's not part of our Gia program yet.
So just so everyone understands, and this is how, it came, because I'm not on TikTok that often. I am occasionally when I can't sleep. But Stacy, I have my iMessage on my laptop, right? For those Mac users, you understand. So Stacy sent me a TikTok. And like I wasn't thinking, it wasn't on my phone. So I clicked it and it went to the TikTok desktop.
Oh, you know what? I should know that because I send my mom TikTok sometimes and she doesn't have it on her phone. She always clicks on it. So but
it's interesting because now you go, okay, well, TikTok can open up to the older crowd who likes desktops or laptops or something. So everything's changing all the time.
Well, hang on. Because TikTok, speaking of which, did you know TikTok has stories?
They're all video. How would they have stories?
Right. This is the problem. But stories on TikTok are shorter little videos. I don't know how you can get shorter because they're already 15 seconds.
Yeah.
But they still only live for 24 hours.
Oh.
So I was having a conversation with my older son and I said, so do you have TikTok stories? And he went on a rant. It was hysterical. He's like, that is the stupidest thing on the entire world. He goes, why would they do stories if they understood the people that were on the platform? They would understand how we use it, because in the opposite front, in Instagram, they use stories more. Right. They share their post to stories. And on TikTok, they're anti-stories.
Right.
Because the feed is already, feed is basically stories.
Stories.
It's like 15, 30-second quick videos that you scroll through. So it's kind of like a story.
So if you guys if you have a business and you're only posting right now and you're not doing any stories, just so you know, nobody's probably looking at your feed on anything, right?
Yeah.
And it's true because when you get onto Instagram stories or TikTok, it just keeps going, and you are down that rabbit hole, and you didn't even know you went there. And like you look up an hour later, and you realize you were watching. Like, I know the world's biggest collection of cleaning tips from TikTok. Like
I got down a rabbit hole yesterday.
Like, it's just like you learn all this weird shit that you thought you never had to know.
Yeah.
But you can't stop because it's just interesting, right? It's interesting. Mm-hmm. So most of them, not all of it.
No, some of them are stupid.
Some people should not be on anything. But for those of you who are like, oh my God, I have to do this, we are going to do a TikTok challenge in November, right?
We are going to start using TikTok. So I actually sent the one I sent to Faye yesterday specifically was because going back to what I was talking about yesterday in the networking group is just because you can do something doesn't mean that it makes sense for you, your business, or your brand. So TikTok is a platform that has a ridiculous amount of features. Yes. Like, I can't even begin to explain how many features and what they have and what you can do on this particular platform and editing and blah, 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 blah. So Faye and I have been talking frequently about like, what does TikTok look like for us? Right. So if we want to jump on the TikTok bandwagon, let's just call it, what would that look like for us? Would we use this particular feature? What kind of videos would we do? How do we want to portray our brand on that particular platform? So I sent her one and I said, I think this feels right. I think this is one that we could do because not a lot of other people are doing it. But again, just because you can do everything doesn't mean that it makes sense for you. So we're kind of figuring out what we're going to do on TikTok. I still know the platform. Both my kids are both on. Well, my younger one, maybe I'll get him to come in on the challenge and teach us some stuff about TikTok.
Aren't going to help us.
No, but the younger one will. He's good because he has a TikTok channel. He gets a lot of views on it. He really enjoys making them. He knows sort of how to do different things on the platform, and I know how to use it as well. But again, it's a different platform, so then there's lots of options. And just because you can do 5,000 transitions and change your clothes and do all of these,
I'm not that person. I'm not going to go and change my clothes.
But you know how long that takes?
I hate that one.
It's like a 15-second video. It probably takes them like 2 hours to make it. Or the ones
that like sit there and show you their outfits. I'm like, oh please, like, you know, that's a little annoying. It's fun. Like you see the first one, you go, oh, that's cute, and then their whole feed, like their whole everything you see, and it's like, okay, no, thank you.
And there's lots of tutorial ones where it's like, here's a cool video I did, and then here's how I did it. Here's a cool video I did, and here's how I did it.
And I love, that's where I learned all about how to paint furniture and how to clean stuff with using Blue Dawn and and all that stuff. And I was thinking, you know, I was literally thinking the other day, we have so many, Stacy and I have so many technological and business hacks, and we don't even think about them, right? And so when we do it and somebody goes, how'd you do that? And I thought, well, we could do that, you know, because like even last week when I was here and I didn't have a light and I did a hack to get lighting, right?
Yeah, that was very cool, by the way.
And nobody knew what it was. Like nobody understood how to do it. And it was like, took me, you know, 5 minutes, but those are the little things that I think would be interesting to share, because I don't think anyone's really doing that. There's one guy that does that iPhone thing that I like. Like
there's a lot of iPhone ones. Yeah. I've seen a lot of different, you know, oh, have you seen the latest this? Have you seen the latest that? This is what you can do. I see a lot of Instagram story hacks.
Yeah.
Really cool ways to do different things on your story, which I love. I'm fascinated by the TikTok algorithm.
Right.
Fascinated by it. Because literally, like, I'll say to my son, oh, did you see this particular TikToker? I'll send him something. He's like, how did that show up on your For You page? And the For You page is just basically recommended videos. It's different from sort of the people that you're following, which I kind of like about that particular channel. So we are going to do a TikTok channel. I feel like I know a lot about the platform. We haven't kind of started doing videos on it, but I've played with it to nauseum about how to do different things. I'm excited to show you so that if you do want to start doing them, and it doesn't have to be, there's one girl that I know, sort of a social media marketer person, and she's been doing a really good job, and she's not doing, like you said, the transitions. And if you don't know what we're talking about, basically, you know, I would look like this and I would snap my fingers and we would be dressed differently, you know, or something like that. It would just, they call that a transition. So it's interesting. It's a really interesting platform. So going back to the original, like they've even transitioned in regards to what they're showing people. They're trying out different things to grow their channel, but you know what? Keep it what it is. Twitter, good for you. You got rid of stories. You got rid of fleets. You got rid of audio rooms. You got back to what you do best. I think Facebook should get rid of stories, in my opinion. Facebook
I don't even know. Like mine just go because we share them, right?
Yeah, they go. But do you look at stories?
No, I don't look at Facebook. I don't. You know, so just so everyone knows, I post. That's why everyone goes, wonder why she never comments, because I'm never on it. I find it annoying. I just find Facebook annoying, so I can't. Sorry for all you Facebook fans. I just and the reason, what's one of the reasons we transitioned off of Facebook and now have a private community, because we wanted it to be for everyone, and Facebook is just Facebook. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of people even with Facebook groups. I'm still surprised at the amount of people. You look at this like very professional, you know, challenge or something, and it's like, enjoy my Facebook group.
Yeah.
I think I don't want to join your Facebook group.
No.
I'm not on Facebook. I won't see it.
No.
Like, I mean, I'm on it, but I'm not.
Yeah, I can't. It's challenging. I just think the whole thing challenging to understand where everything is when you're in a group and how they're presenting stuff and videos, and then you have to look at everyone's comment. The only time I go on Facebook is if I need to find something in one of our technology partners. There's 2 partners that have good Facebook groups.
Yes.
So if you need an answer to something, because they don't have their own forum. If they had their own, I would go there.
Yeah.
But that's the only reason. But you know, the only thing I just want to do a little pet peeve on Instagram stories. Okay.
Go.
Okay. You guys will see, like, I mean, I did a quick one last week, right? I just did a quick thing about, you know, showing you guys the studio and the farm. It was like 15 seconds twice, right? That's about it. There are people that like, it's like, you know, 10 minutes of videos on their stories, right? They keep talking in the same spot. And after the first one, I usually leave because they just keep talking. And I'm like, does anyone watch those?
Well, I think what ends up happening is, in order for you to do a longer training, so this is where understanding the platform. So what they should be doing is putting that on IGTV.
Exactly. And that's the whole point of IGTV.
Right.
That was what it was supposed to be. But now they're doing it on their stories because they know nobody watches IGTV.
But if you do it properly,
yes,
then you take your IGTV, you put a preview in your post, you can put something on your story, because stories will link to a reel or an IGTV. You can literally go swipe up to watch the rest.
Yeah.
Like that's what, because if I want to watch it, or if you've interested me,
right,
I'm in.
And if you want to do a live, then do a live, and that's cool. Talk like I do lives, but I do them for concerts. So, and I leave the feed because I know people want to watch the whole song, not like a snippet of a song.
That's different.
But but the ones that like people are just talking, and then especially the ones that don't put their captions on. So they're talking without captions, and I don't even want to, like, I'm not sure if I'm interested. So if I see the caption, because I never put my volume on, right? So if I see the captions and I think it's interesting, I might put it on. But actually, to be honest, I usually just read. So,
well, most people do read videos, and that's been an interesting turn as well in regards to stories and live. And I mean, all the different platforms. I even know when we go live, like today, we're live on LinkedIn. So if you're watching us on LinkedIn, the banner at the top of Faye's profile, because I never know if we're streaming to hers or mine, to look for a second. So if you go to the top of Faye's profile, the banner at the top of her profile changes and you can see us, but it's auto captioned,
right?
Because, and YouTube is auto captioned, LinkedIn, Facebook, like all of them are now auto captioned. You might not get every word correct,
right?
But people read videos.
Yeah. And you know, just a big shout, well done, LinkedIn, for putting it at the top. We actually like how that worked. It looks great. And, you know, again, big shout out, because they knew stories didn't work. They got rid of it. So it's great to see a platform that is sticking to, you know, rather than, and I understand everybody was running because Clubhouse was big. So everyone's like, oh my God, how do I put audio in our platform? You know, I get that. But the smart people just said, let's just stick to what we do best. And it's okay. Everyone tested. They were betas.
Yeah.
And what worked. I just don't understand why Facebook isn't doing anything to make itself relevant.
I don't know. I think, and it might be because they own Instagram.
Maybe.
So Instagram is their.
And the people that use Facebook are happy with it. Like, again, I don't want any hate mail. People that use Facebook love Facebook, right? And they love connecting to their friends and all that stuff.
But in all fairness, you know, Facebook really is now, and kind of has been for a very long time, a little bit of an older platform. So like I said, my son doesn't even have an account. I feel like because there's newer platforms, but you know, Facebook is what it is. And if they did too many changes, like, do you have any idea what happens when they do a desktop overhaul?
They did it already.
People freak out. So I think they've realized, you know what, stick to what they are.
And they are good. I mean,
they are a solid platform.
Their e-com is fantastic because people swear by selling their stuff on Facebook Marketplace. But then again, see, here's the other thing I'll just comment on. So people always, you know, get around the system. And so somebody told me, my girlfriend in the South said that she was selling everything on Facebook, right? Like, and she was doing really great. And I said, okay, I'll take a look. And so I go, hadn't been on Marketplace, and I look, and I understood, but then all of a sudden you start seeing everything say $1, $1, $1. It's clickbait. So they post it at $1, and then you click it, and then it says starting from, or it'll tell the real price, or call for a price. Quote. And so, you know, that to me completely turned me off. Like, not that I would have ever, you know, I'm not one of those people that will sell something on Facebook and strange person comes up to my door to buy it. Like that's kind of weird to me. But I guess everyone who's on Kijiji and all that stuff, Kijiji and Craigslist in the States,
Yep.
Is used to it. I'm just like, I don't want a random person showed up at my door to buy a,
$2 something.
Like I give, so everyone has their own thing.
Yep.
I give away all my stuff to usually Salvation Army here. I'm not a garage sale person. I'm not a Facebook Marketplace, but people swear by how much money.
But you know what? I will give Facebook a little bit of credit, because what you can do as a business owner is you can set up a product, and then you can tag that product when you do a post, so that they don't have to go and try and find it.
Yeah.
There's a little white little circle on your post. They click it and it goes to what they can buy immediately. So I really like the integration from that perspective. Yeah. It is on desktop. So I think they focus more on the desktop experience.
Yeah. And we're not hating on it, because we love Instagram. And we spend money on ads, so it does go to Facebook.
Yeah, exactly. No, we're a big supporter of Facebook, but again, for understanding the demographics and the people who use the different platforms, and that the owners of those platforms also need to understand that.
But in Facebook, I mean, again, I'm gonna push them a little bit, because what happens when, all your users die?
It's true. Their usership is going to literally decline so fast, because this generation is realizing that there's other options.
And I think, and maybe I'm, it's just me, but personally, I'm finding, it a little overwhelming, all the social media now. And so we're like making it simplified. We're paring it down. We're doing stuff that we want to do. But I think everyone is sort of a little overwhelmed. I wouldn't, like, social media is amazing. Absolutely. And that's, without it, I don't know how we would survive now, because everything you look up, everything you find, all your favorite stores, people that you want to, connect with, it makes it really easy. But at the same time, I think, it's keep it simple, streamline all your platforms so that we know exactly what to use your platform for.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So I was speaking of that. Or we still have some time?
A little bit.
Okay. So speaking of that, I was thinking, as you were thinking about social media,
you were thinking about social media.
I was actually thinking, so Stacey always goes to the production part, the social media, and I'm thinking about the strategy part. And so what I was thinking about yesterday was the fact that so many people are still stuck in I don't really know what I want. Like, what's my goal, and where do I want to go, and where is my focus? And I don't, if you ask somebody, what do you want to accomplish in a year? Their answer is usually, I want more business.
That's very vague.
And that's it. So I was literally thinking about doing like a visualization challenge, like next month, just for like 5 days, and just like in the morning, taking 10 minutes and walking our students through exactly how to focus in on what you really want. Just 10 minutes while you're still in bed. You don't even have to get up.
Ooh, I don't have to get up.
And so that you can, if you start getting into that habit now, then by the time the new year comes, which everyone always waits till the new year to do everything, you'll be ready to go. What do you think?
I like the fact that I can stay in bed.
Yeah.
So it's in the bed challenge.
Yeah. In the bed challenge. We should call it that.
You don't have to get out of bed, but you're right. I mean, it's the end of September. There's still lots of time for the end of this year to make things happen.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it be great to use the end of this year to prepare?
Yeah.
Like, and literally get things ready for a bigger launch, because you're right. What ends up happening is you either there's two types of people. You get the September is the new January.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do everything in September. And then the end of September I guess I'll wait till January.
Yeah. Yeah.
So at least then January is the new January, and you can actually use the fall. So I like the fall. I like to get things ready. I don't like to launch a lot of things. We are doing we are launching another session of GIA before the end of the year, our Global Impact Accelerator program, because the study lounge was so amazing. And again, that gets our students ready for the new year. So I feel like that's what this fall is about. I feel like, we've come through COVID.
Yeah.
We're here. We're like, okay, I can do some stuff now. I can spread my wings a little bit. Time to kind of get things organized. And I feel like then we're going to come first. So I actually think that's a really good idea.
Yeah. Well, I think people stopped envisioning what they wanted to do when COVID hit. Right.
Absolutely.
I just think everyone the world stopped revolving. Basically, everyone kind of went still. And so I think now, like you said, it's busier outside with traffic. People are moving. People are going back to events and back to everything, you know, that they kind of did before. And I think it's time now to go, okay, I really haven't sat down and said, what's my goal for next year? What's my goal for 5 years from now? And remember, I'm talking 10 minutes a day for an envisioning kind of thing, not like, you know, big numbers and all that stuff, but something to start your path. We have a great program called New Year, New Plan that we run in January. And that really like focuses you hard and gets you all the numbers, and we will run it again 1st of January. But in the meantime, why don't we get that muscle going? And part of it is visualization, is really meditation and no chanting. It's about,
because I'm not getting out of bed for that.
No, it's really about picturing what you really want to achieve, as opposed to nothing. Because right now you're just going more business. I need to make more money. But what does that look like at the end game? What does that look like?
So I also think that a lot of people, and I use this word, pivoted. Shh. It's the taboo word of 2021.
Yeah.
But so people maybe they've changed some stuff because of COVID. But now what are their goals with their new business? Not just I want more business, because they probably didn't make much of a plan because they just immediately change lanes.
Or maybe they want to pivot back, right?
Exactly.
Maybe they're like, okay, I managed, I paid the bills, I did everything, but now I can actually do what I used to do. But you've learned so much more, you can actually make it bigger, right?
True.
So leave me a comment in wherever you guys are reading this or watching this or whatever, and let me know if you're interested. I think I'd like to start it literally maybe in a week.
Okay. I'll be busy today. Anybody's looking for me? No.
It's not. No. It's not a lot of work. It's just guiding you for 10 minutes to be able to think about what you should be thinking about. So, you know, if everyone there has 10 minutes a day for 5 days, I think
the bed for 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm going a little. My brain's going too far. Reel me back in.
Exactly. So let us know.
That'd be very cool.
Yeah, I think we're going to do it.
That'd be very cool. I like the fact that she brings these things up live. So I'm like, yes. No. Instead of me looking at her like, you're crazy.
Yeah, she tells me that after.
Yeah. No, but in this case, it's actually a good idea.
Yeah.
Actually. So I'll use the word actually.
Actually.
That's her daughter's word. When I know when she uses the word actually, I know it's good. Like she'll go, yeah, that's good or great or I like it. She'll go, no, I actually like it. So that's
we know we did good.
Yeah,
actually. Other times we just go, oh, she doesn't really like it.
It's just being nice. But she uses the word actually, so I'll go, I actually like that one.
Yeah, cool.
All right, have a good one.